Donald Duck and the Magic Stick. Once upon a time there was a tailor who lived with his 3 nephews. The poor tailor worked very hard, while his nephews spent all their time playing and sleeping. One day the tailor decided it was time for Huey, Dewey, and Louie to go to work. "You must learn how to take care of yourselves," he said. "I cannot always look after you." The next morning the 3 nephews left home. "I will go to the city," said Huey. "I will go to the country," said Dewey. "I will go to the woods," said Louie. "Good luck to you," called Uncle Donald. "Come back to see me at the end of the year." When Huey reached the city, he found a carpenter to work. Huey worked for 1 year. He learned to make tables and chairs. When the time came for Huey to go home, the carpenter gave him a little wooden table. "As long as you have this table," said the carpenter, "you will never be hungry. Just think of something delicious and say, 'Table set.'" Huey closed his eyes and thought of something delicious, and then he said, "Table set." Suddenly appeared on the table a baked turkey, fruit and candy, and a delicious cherry pie. The table was magic. "Whatever you do," said the carpenter, "never let this table out of your sight." "I won't," said Huey, and he ate his cherry pie. And then Huey thanked the carpenter and put the table on his back and then started home. That night Huey stopped at the old inn. "May I sleep here tonight?" he asked. "Yes, you may," said the innkeeper. "But you are too late for dinner." "That is all right," said Huey. My magic table will give me dinner." The innkeeper could not believe his ears, so he peeked into Huey's room. So he heard Huey say, "Table set," and suddenly appeared on the table a big plate of spaghetti and meatballs. "With a table like that," thought the innkeeper, "I would never have to cook again." And so when Huey was fast asleep, the innkeeper sneaked into his room, and he took the magic table and left another table in its place. In the morning, Huey put the table on his back and went home. His uncle was glad to see him. "Did you work hard?" he asked. "Yes, Uncle Donald," said Huey, "but I will never have to work again. I have a magic table." "There is no such thing as magic," said his uncle. "Yes, there is," said Huey. "Watch. First I think of something delicious, then I say, 'Table set.'" Uncle Donald watched the table. Nothing happened. Again, Huey said, "Table set." This time, a fly landed on the table. "Is that what you call delicious?" asked Uncle Donald. And he laughed and laughed. Meanwhile, Dewey had gone to the country. There he found a farmer to work for. Dewey stayed with him for 1 whole year, and he learned to grow corn and wheat. When the time came for Dewey to go home, the farmer gave him a little donkey. "As long as you have this donkey," said the farmer, "you will never be poor. Just think of how much money you want and say, 'Donkey, donkey, wiggle your ear.'" Dewey closed his eyes and wished for 10 cents gold. And he said, "Donkey, donkey, wiggle your ear." And then all of a sudden he wiggled his ear and out came 10 gold coins. The donkey was magic. "Whatever you do," said the farmer, "never let this donkey out of your sight." "I won't," said Dewey. Dewey put the coins in a bag, and then he thanked the farmer, and he climbed on the donkey and started home. That night, Dewey stopped at the old inn. "All rooms are taken," said the innkeeper, "but if you give me enough gold, you can sleep in the barn." Dewey gave him his bag of gold coins. "If that's not enough," said Dewey, "I can get more from my magic donkey." "Just give me 1 more coin," said the innkeeper. He wanted to see what the donkey could do. "Donkey, donkey, 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 wiggle your ear," said Dewey, and a gold coin came falling out. "I would be rich with a donkey like that," thought the innkeeper. And so when Dewey was fast asleep, the innkeeper sneaked into the barn, and he took the magic donkey away, and he left another donkey in its place. In the morning, Dewey climbed onto the donkey and rode home. His uncle and brother came out to greet him. "Did you work hard?" asked his uncle. "Yes, Uncle Donald," said Dewey, "but I will never have to work again. I have a magic donkey." "There is no such thing as magic," said his uncle. "Yes, there is," said Dewey. "Watch. First I think of how much money I want, and then I say, 'Donkey, donkey, wiggle your ear.'" His uncle watched the donkey. All it did was kick up its heels. "Donkey, donkey, wiggle your ear," shouted Dewey, but the donkey only swatted a fly with its tail. The fly landed on Dewey's face. "Is a fly what you wished for?" asked Uncle Donald, and he laughed and laughed. "That is strange," said Dewey. "The magic worked at the old inn." "That is strange," said Huey. "My magic table worked at the old inn too." Said the two brothers, and while their uncle laughed and laughed, they thought and thought and thought. Now Louis had gone to work in the woods, and he lived with a woodcutter. Louis helped him cut up logs for firewood. One day a letter came. "Dear Louis, come home right away. The innkeeper at the old inn is a thief. He took a magic table and a magic donkey from us. We must think of a way to get him back. Your two brothers." Louis told the woodcutter that he had to go home right away. "Here is a stick to take with you," said the woodcutter. "As long as you have it, you will be safe. I will show you how it works." The woodcutter said, "Stick, start beating on that tree." And the stick began to beat upon the tree, until the woodcutter told it to stop. "The stick is very useful," said Louis. He thanked the woodcutter and started home. When night came, Louis stopped at the old inn. "May I sleep here tonight?" he asked. "Yes, you may," said the innkeeper. "Here, let me take that old stick." "No," said Louis. "This is my magic stick. It keeps me safe." Thought the innkeeper. "I think I should have a magic stick." Late that night, the innkeeper sneaked into Louis's room. He did not know that Louis was still awake, and he tried to take the magic stick. Suddenly, Louis cried, "Stick, start beating that thief!" And the stick began to beat upon the innkeeper. Up one arm and down the other. Now in one place, now in another. At last the innkeeper cried, "Make it stop, make it stop!" "Will you give me the magic table and the magic donkey you stole from my brothers?" asked Louis. "I will do anything," cried the innkeeper. "Stick, stop beating," said Louis, and the stick flew into his hand. The next morning, Louis put the table on the donkey's back, and he took his magic stick and climbed onto the donkey and rode home. When Louis got home, his uncle and his brother rushed out to greet him. "Here's the magic table," he told them, "and here's the magic donkey. I got them with my magic stick." "Magic, magic, magic," cried Uncle Donald. "That is all you guys talk about. But I have not seen any magic yet." "Uncle Donald, what would you like to eat?" asked Huey. "A big slice of ice-cold watermelon," said his uncle. So Huey said, "Table set." And there appeared on the table 4 big slices of ice-cold watermelon, one for each of them. Then Dewey said, "Uncle Donald, how much gold would you like to have?" "A great big pile of it," said his uncle. "Donkey, donkey, wiggle your ear," said Dewey. And the donkey wiggled his ear and wiggled until out came a great big pile of gold. "Now, Uncle Donald," said Louis, "is there anything else you would like?" "I would like to get rid of these flies," cried his uncle. "Stick, start beating," said Louis. The magic stick began to swat the flies until they were all gone. Never again did Uncle Donald say that there was no such thing as magic.